Are you a college-age student wondering if you should vaccinate your children in the future? You might be thinking to yourself, this isn't a decision that I'll need to make in the near future. That is true, but what's the harm of learning about it now? There are so many misconceptions and myths flying around regarding vaccines. One of the most commonly believed myths surrounding vaccinations is that they can cause autism. That is not true. There have been many scientific studies that have proven that there is no correlation between getting vaccinated and the development of autism in children. In fact, your child is more likely to get struck by lightning or be in a plane crash than have an adverse reaction to a vaccine. The chances are only 1 in 1 million. At this point, you might be wondering how this all ties into the bigger picture. The fact of the matter is it is unethical not to vaccinate your children. The first question that comes to mind is, why is it unethical? That is a great question. The answer begins with the simple concept of herd immunity. The definition of herd immunity is a form of indirect protection from infectious disease that occurs when a large percentage of a population has become immune to an infection, whether through previous infections or vaccination, thereby providing a measure of protection for individuals who are not immune. However, if the number of those people who are not immune increases, there is also an increase in the amount of people who are getting sick. Herd immunity will do its job to protect those that are not immune if the majority of the population is vaccinated. That is why it is so essential to get vaccinated, and it is unethical not to vaccinate your children. If you have the mindset that your child is safe just because everyone else's children are vaccinated, that is not necessarily the case. If every parent has that mindset, then every child is at risk of getting deadly diseases, as well as at risk of spreading them to those who are also not immune. Now we will hear the opinions of local healthcare providers, Dr. Vivian Miller, radiologist, and Dr. Carrie Dash, internist.
Hi, I'm Carrie Dash, and I'm an internist.
I'm Vivian Miller, Dash, and I'm a radiologist.
Well, I certainly believe in vaccinations, and I recommend them for all my patients, and I get them myself, and I do think that parents have an obligation to vaccinate their children. However, there is a consideration for their religious and other beliefs.
I strongly believe in vaccinations and vaccinating your children. I think it's a very important, critical public health issue. And I do think we need to respect all people's and religious and cultural values. However, I think if you're a member of society, I do believe it's unethical not to vaccinate your kids.
Well, I learned the science behind vaccination, and it's strong science, and it allows me to educate my patients and vote in favor of getting vaccinated.
I would say exactly the same thing.
Yes, I do.
Me too.
I think we have had discussions about this in the past, and you understand that we believe in the value of vaccinating everyone. I don't think so, but I think that I wouldn't be able to support my beliefs with the knowledge that I have.
I don't think my opinion would be different if I wasn't a medical professional. Well, the science, of course, has a lot to do with my stronger opinions and backing it up by science. But I do believe, again, it's a societal thing. I think that first of all, the diseases that we're vaccinated against are horrible diseases. And I don't understand, especially with going through what we're going through now with COVID, if these diseases would kill or maim you, why wouldn't you do anything you could possibly do to prevent these horrible diseases that would affect your life and or kill you and or your family members? If you have an option to prevent them, I believe you should absolutely 100% without question take those measures to prevent them.
Well, I would try to educate them with the science behind it. We need a certain number of people to get vaccinated to maintain what we call herd immunity. So people are not at risk. And like Vivian said before, if enough people turn down those vaccines, then society is at risk. So I understand that there are some religious beliefs that go against vaccinating, but I think that their individual rights would have to bend for the overall societal good that vaccinations bring.
Yeah, and I do, and this exactly the same thing, but also you're making these decisions for your children, and your children are going to go out in the world and live their own lives, and they need to be protected. And I don't really understand why someone wouldn't, other than a temporary pain with a vaccination, the myths that they cause autism, things like that, have been debunked many, many times. There's very minimal risk and great benefit. So it's okay to have your kid cry for a second when they get a little vaccination to prevent a lot more crying were they to get a communicable disease that could kill or maim them. I would say look at the recent measles breakouts in this country and elsewhere for people who have not vaccinated their kids or not been vaccinated themselves. And not only are you taking the risk for your own children, but you're taking the risk for society, other people who are innocent people who may be immunocompromised, who may be elderly, people who are more susceptible to getting these diseases. And if they catch them because we don't have enough immunity, in the community, that's your responsibility. That's on your head. Get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated.
Yeah, and I think we can draw a comparison between our society or societies that have a high rate of vaccination versus developing countries who might not be able to afford vaccination. And you can see the suffering that's brought on by not vaccinating children. So that's just a fact that you can convince people who don't believe in vaccination or don't want to vaccinate. Also, you could draw the analogy between vaccination and treating hypertension. If you treat high blood pressure, it prevents heart disease and stroke and kidney disease many years down the road. So hypertension is known as the silent killer, but you can prevent those morbidities, those problems, and even mortality from happening. And vaccination is similar. You don't necessarily see benefit, but you know there is benefit because people are not getting the diseases. And all you have to do is go back in history and read about measles, about meningitis, about tetanus, and all those diseases. And now our children, polio. You don't have to worry about it as much. And even influenza decreases the risk of problems, health problems as well. Stay healthy and safe.
Stay healthy and
Wash
safe.
your hands.
And vaccinate your kids.
And of course, vaccinate your children and yourself.
And yourself, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we will hear the opinions of Casey Chung. He is a sophomore student athlete at the University of Massachusetts Amherst.
I think that it benefits society more than it hurts it because with vaccinations, you can prevent yourself from spreading diseases to others, especially in highly populated environments. It'll benefit the community because everyone will live longer and be healthy because they won't get life-threatening diseases that they can't fight off without vaccination. I think staying healthy and not infecting others with diseases. I've seen a lot on social media. It's influenced me. Yes, because I don't want them to get sick with diseases and spread their germs and stuff.
Hey guys, so this is the end of the video, and I just wanted to say that after everything that was said in this video, I hope you'll make the decision to vaccinate your children when the time comes. It's not only for their benefit, it's for the benefit of public health. It will help prevent the spread of deadly infections and help increase herd immunity. Even if you think these diseases are not around anymore, such as measles or polio, you are most likely wrong. There was a measles outbreak not even a year ago in the state of New York. The rates of these diseases have decreased thanks to vaccinations and herd immunity. However, just because they are not found in your immediate area does not mean that your child won't come across it at some point in their lifetime. The adverse reactions to vaccines are very rare, and they include fever, allergic reactions to some ingredients, mild symptoms, swelling of the vaccination site. But all of that is worth it for a chance to eradicate these deadly diseases. So therefore, I believe it is better safe than sorry when it comes to vaccinations, and you should definitely vaccinate your children when the time comes. I hope this was informative to you. I hope you learned a lot, and thanks for watching. Bye.